RTX is we've added a whole lot of new features, and it's not just about delivering a series of GPUs that's faster than last generation. It's about bringing in a whole bunch of technologies that are going to really drive what PC gaming is for the next decade. So in our GPU, we've got our shaders, which are the fundamental base of how 3D games are made. But we've also added two other things. We've added a ray tracing core, which is dedicated hardware to do something very special. And also Tensor Core, which has come from our enterprise products. It's custom hardware designed to run artificial intelligence. So what this enables is a whole bunch of new things. And at the moment, we're looking at three big technologies that have appeared in games so far this month. So there's ray tracing, and if you've seen outside, we're running a Star Wars demo, which is being rendered in real time at 4K with ray tracing. Now ray tracing is really important, but it's a brand new technology, and it's something that I'll explain a little bit more about, but this is really going to drive gaming forward. DLSS, which I'll also talk about, is using those as tensor cores, the AI, in order to get much higher performance out of your GPU. And NAS, which is a fairly new technology, is called is NVIDIA Adaptive Shading, which has just launched in Wolfenstein 2, and it also is about getting more and more performance out of the GPU. So just a really, really high level thing of what ray tracing is. Traditional 3D graphics are done through a thing called rasterization, which is on the left here, and basically involves, you have your rectangle of a monitor, and it just kind of takes that viewport into the world. So it can't take any information from outside of that rectangle, and a whole lot of game development is purely about making that image look as real as possible. With ray tracing, you're actually recreating how light works. So you're firing a line from your eye into a 3D scene and watching the light bounce around. So it pulls information in from outside of the scene, and it means that you end up with a much more realistic image, and you don't have to spend all this time coming up with these tricks. And for this reason, ray tracing is something everyone's seen because it's used in films. Now this type of ray tracing takes huge server farms, it takes hours and hours and hours and hours to render a single frame. But they use it because, be it cars, where they want something to look realistic, or be it Avengers or Transformers, where they want the computer graphics to blend in with the actual footage. They use ray tracing because that's how light works and that's how the world looks. So we're really happy that we're already seeing ray tracing used in games. So Battlefield 5 came out last week, and it uses ray tracing for reflections in the game. So windows, puddles, the gun that the guy's holding, all reflect the world, and all reflect things that you don't actually see on screen. And this is really important because you're getting a lot more information and it looks more realistic. Our brains have kind of been trained to forgive games because things look good enough, but this actually looks a lot more accurate to how things do in the real world. And so Battlefield 5 has ray tracing, it's a very early implementation. The DICE, the developers, are actively working on it, and we expect to see more and more performance boosts coming in patches. And we're really excited because this technology is so new, but they've managed to jump on board and really run with it and really embrace a technology that only existed in Silicon 6 months ago. So we're going to see more and more ray tracing, and we're going to see ray tracing improve in performance sooner than you think. DLSS is another of the really key technologies. Now, I can get into a whole 40 minutes of talking about how artificial intelligence works, but I don't think Gigabyte will be happy. But basically what we do with DLSS, we render an image of a game at 1440p. We run neural network, which is a computer program that we've trained on our supercomputer at NVIDIA headquarters, and it outputs at 4K exactly as it would look if it was natively being done in 4K. So the advantage is that you're getting this fast performance at the lower resolution, but getting all the quality at the high resolution. And this is a really exciting thing that makes 4K gaming much more possible, and will be coming soon in various games. It's out in the Final Fantasy benchmark, but there are more titles just around the corner. And the next one I want to show you, which is the most complicated slide I've got, is NVIDIA Adaptive Shading, which basically all it does is intelligently, when it's rendering a computer game, if you look on the left, all those red areas, they're just flat colors. So what it does is it can look at the game as it's doing it and go, well, I don't need to actually spend my processing time here. I need to focus on the really complicated bits. So it intelligently changes how the shaders are used in a scene, which means more performance. And so you get a frame rate boost because it's not wasting its time drawing all of these pixels that are all exactly the same khaki color. And I talk about these ones because these are the texts that have been released this month. So we had Battlefield 5 with ray tracing, Final Fantasy benchmark with DLSS, and Wolfenstein 2 has adaptive shading. And these are all out now. But the really exciting thing, and there's no point in talking about new technologies and exciting new tech, is that there's a lot of games coming that are using ray tracing, DLSS, adaptive shading, or a combination. So we expect to see more and more titles coming out that use these technologies. So when you buy an RTX card, you basically are getting really great performance now, the fastest GPUs out there, but you're also getting this hardware that is being supported quicker and quicker that actually adds a whole lot more to your gaming experience. And with that, I will throw back over.
Thank you, John. Okay, so with the P850W with Gold modular, it basically has a fully modular design, right? You have your high quality Japanese capacitors, and so basically with it's 80 plus gold certified, so up to 90% more efficiency at 50% low. So here's the picture. Okay, so in your case, you have in terms of product design, you really have RGB fusion. You have your RGB fusion customizable lighting, and assembly-wise, vertical, horizontal, it supports both types of VGA installation. You also have your HDMI and a USB Type-C on your I/O panel. Okay, so gaming gear. AORUS K70 gaming keyboard. So you have your Cherry MX switch with RGB fusion backlight. So basically, you can control your backlight control on the fly. AORUS M5 gaming mouse because you have 16,000 DPI, and you can make on-the-fly DPI adjustments like in game. And it also has adjustable weight and balance, as you can see here. You find your own optimal weight. If you're playing FPS games or MOBAs, whatever kind of feel you like better, you can always adjust the weight accordingly. It's also more ergonomic. And then for your gaming mouse pad, you have a micro texture surface, so you don't have as much friction. And you can make more pixel-precise movements, which is really good, especially when you're gaming. Okay, so our headset, AORUS H5 gaming headset, basically I want to emphasize 50 millimeter driver, and then you have your surround sound stereo. So you have a very immersive audio experience. Gaming chair. Very comfy, basically, and perfect for gaming. Okay, so we're pleased to announce that the Z390 AORUS Extreme has just launched, so run, don't walk, And basically, with for notebooks, we also have a solution, especially the award-winning Aero 15. So the Aero 15, basically, the main points are that it's the bezel is very thin, so you have a wider display, and with your 144 megahertz refresh rate, it's going to look gorgeous, especially when you're gaming, and support for 1060 and 1070 graphics, and for support for the Intel Core i7 8750H processor. Okay, so battery life, right? 10 hours, the biggest battery life in the market, and you can pretty much take it on the go. So you have smoother gameplay, especially like I mentioned before, with a bezel-less. Essentially, you have hot 144 hertz refresh rate, and just much cleaner. And it also has you can also have the numerical pad on the right, because the whole design is much slimmer. It's much slimmer, so everything fits in on the notebook.
It's getting colder. Can you hear me when you're riding on my shoulder? And tell me when to die.
Okay, so with these new additions to the AORUS ecosystem, they have a certain synergy for gamers to really have a more enjoyable gaming experience, so they can team up and fight on. So I hope you guys can enjoy some of the products we've lined up today to demo them and to try them out. And I'll kick it back to Andrew. Thank you.